What's up, everybody? How are you doing? My name is SHANTH ENJETI. This is SHANTH ENJETI Art coming to you live from the heart of Lovecraft country and in the birthplace of American religious liberty. It is great to see all of you guys here on this fine Sunday, and I was just sitting here and I was so excited. I look forward to our Sunday streams so much at 3:33, my favorite number. And let's see who we got here in the chat, and then I want to talk to you guys and see what's up while we paint and we talk about art and creativity and liberty and all the great things we do here. I'm even wearing, the link is in the description, my t-shirt, Made with Liberty in the U.S.A. If you want one of these on a hoodie, long sleeve, short sleeve, whatever you're into, whatever fickles your fancy, the link is in the description. And I got to start out with my main man, my can of spam. It's all about money. Stephen Rockwood, channel member and rock star. It is great to see you in the house. And let's see, we got channel member Mark's Music Obsession. It is great to see you, my friend. And now let me see who else have we got outside of our channel members. We got Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, who's like, I read this, I was like, I'm reading Godlike before Nosfero. We're going to fix that as fast as we can, brother. Don't worry. But read Godlike. I'm excited. Very excited, man. But it's great to see all of you guys. We've got Gen X Catholic here. I'm wishing you a wonderful Sunday, my friend. I hope you are well. And let's see, we've got Emo in the house. What is up, Emo? I hope you are doing well. And did I miss anybody else? Let me know if I did. If anybody falls down, pick them up. That's what we do here at SHANTH ENJETI Art. We're going to talk about painting. We're going to talk about work. I have had just a crazy week of, you know, getting books packed up and shipped. I took a trip to the post office to learn that they had tore up the street in front of the post office. So that was, oh, sorry about that, guys. That was an interesting way to start the day. And then, yeah, I just have been working. I cleaned my entire studio because I've finally gotten down to a number of orders to where I can breathe again in the studio space, because a lot of what slows me down is not having enough space to actually bring shipping materials in here with all the books. And the more stuff that gets out, the easier it is. I get to reclaim this place a little bit. So I wanted to do some Sunday painting, as it says in the description. Guys, if you haven't seen it yet, and if you missed it on the night, I had, and I know I've talked to you guys about ringing the bell, how important that is for folks who watch this channel. The main thing YouTube cares about is if you click that bell for notifications. So if you haven't yet, please do it. But here's the craziest part about this whole YouTube adventure we're on, and this whole Comicsgate adventure, this whole streaming, this whole promoting artwork adventure we're on, is that almost nobody, because there was so much stuff going on, watched the last Pizza Live video. But man, that was one of the most fun streams I've had. I watched a movie I hadn't watched before. I got to hang out with you guys, and you guys got to see my real-time reaction to watching a movie I love. And I will never forget that. I actually was thinking that only in this time period that we're in, we'll have to see if I'm back yet. Huh. This is tricky. Let me know in the stream if you guys can see me. This is these are wild times. Am I back yet? Give me some ones in the chat if I am back. I'm telling you what. This internet provider is exhausting. I'm with you. Am I back, guys? Let me know. Give me some ones in the chat if I'm alive. Yeah, our internet just went down because it's back but choppy. All right. Well, we're going to see how this goes. I think it's slowly, I'm back 50%. Half, I like it. Half will do in a pinch, as Mary Poppins once said, enough is as good as a feast. Back, refresh, here we go, 111, I'm here. All right, excellent. Let's do this, guys. What would a Shanth stream be if I didn't go down? If I didn't fall on the floor whenever I try to stream? So let's get back to talking turkey here, guys. So I had a complete blast watching that movie with you guys, and if you've never seen it before, or if you've just recently seen it and you want to watch it with a lunatic who is beyond excited to be watching a new movie he's never seen before, oh my gosh, The City of the Dead is a fantastic movie. And you're darn right, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, a spoonful of sugar indeed. Random McRanderson 2. Does that mean I'm back doubly good, or does that mean something worse? Which is entirely possible. So yeah, so I was I'm used to it at this point. I think it's part of the charm. But we'll see. This is it the service or the PC/Mac? I don't know. My son is going to fix my internet for me at his earliest convenience. I'm always telling him I don't have time for it yet, but it's a lot of things. I mean, my laptop is a little bit old. I'm an artist, you know, and I mean, it's not that old, but I'm an artist, so I do a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of video editing you guys have seen, so it's crazy. Yeah, I have technical difficulties, to put it mildly, and I think Rocky should come out here. Let me see who's here now. Got more people. I think you guys like me more when I'm not here. Random McGranderson is in the house. It's great to see you. My brother and channel member, Mr. Michael Bancroft. My brother from another mother from the land down under, as they used to say. It is great to see you. If you're an artist, where is your artist cap? I know I should put that on, Michael. I think you should get one. Don't you think, guys? I mean, if we're going to be brothers, you should have it. It makes total sense to me that you should have one of those. But yeah, so I'm working on, speaking of my brothers, I was looking at a bunch of stuff this week, a bunch of work this weekend, and feeling, dare I say, pumped, feeling excited about Comicsgate, feeling excited about books, feeling excited. I got R.T. Bear's books in. I was looking at Judix, which I got recently, looking at a bunch of stuff while I was organizing my office, looking at old Ninja Turtles comics, that kind of stuff. And I was just getting so pumped. And then, as happens, my brother Eric Weathers. What is up, Mike Wilson Art? How are you doing? It is great to see you, my friend. One of my brothers, Eric Weathers, whose characters I'm painting right now from Battle Brick Road, Battle Brick 2, the link is in the description, along with the Lucent 2 Painted Death and CG Triple Threat. He posted a picture that he had ordered on eBay. He's a trickster, that one. A trickster. The first issue of Spring Ball from 2002. And so now people are starting to buy that comic book like crazy. I feel like you guys are like giving that book life. It's really weird. But you guys are getting amped for that book. Sean has the train conductor hat. That's right, I should. I'm not wearing my train conductor hat until I'm on a stream with Shane Davis again. Till I'm on a stream with Mange, then I'm not doing it. Who was cracking me up the other night, man. Oh my god, that dude. That dude is hilarious. But yeah, man, it's yeah, I should have an old school wooden painters. Yes, I would love to. Yeah, absolutely right. Oh, it's great to see you guys. So yeah, so I was looking at I was watching this guy who has a YouTube channel called 4 Keys Bookbindery, and he was rebinding using old medieval and high-end craft techniques his copy of Dune. He's also apparently a massive Dungeons and Dragons fan, and so he does, like, you know, hammered metal builds, and I mean, this guy is nuts. He makes some of his own leather tooling, you know, tools and everything like that. I mean, this dude is crazy. And I was just thinking about how much I love the craft. Listen, if I can't have Shane Davis in here, the great thing about this space is I can always get Shave in here. Shave, it's great to see you. Dollar bill, y'all. Oh my gosh. Absolute craziness. So yeah, seeing seeing Spring Ball and seeing people with that comic at the same time that I am painstakingly, you know, packing up Nosfero, and then just looking at all of the crazy, amazing creative stuff that's happening in this space, I was feeling like really just confident and really positive, you know, about this. Like, it's not that things have been easy this week. It is not at all, as you know is the case. But I see a lot of my brothers standing tall in the face of a lot of difficult stuff. And that inspires me. That inspires me a lot. You know, just to know the caliber of folks that I'm with. And I thank you guys for being here. Because this is really what it's about. That this is about skill, and this is about the support of skill. And that doesn't matter what your skill is. We need you. We need you. We need your support. We need that support for excellence. It's super important. Paulus Arts, I was recommended that Dune video, but opted not to watch it. Looked kind of interesting. Trust me, it is interesting. It is very, very interesting. I mean, just in terms of when you see people with crazy hand skills, if you like that kind of thing, I mean, I can watch people do woodworking. Anything that I don't do is fun to watch for relaxation. I typically do not watch people painting except for Bob Ross, because Bob Ross is he's like the Zen master of making artwork, you know. But it's been excuse me, it's been crazy, because one of the best things I think that's happened to me in the last couple of weeks, the best things I've done for myself in the last couple of weeks has been, maybe it's a month now, has been getting on a schedule with streaming and having bonus streams, but having 2 days to where I know I'm streaming, just because it gives me some structure. Because it used to be just, you know, I was so busy. There's so many different plates to spin. Like, I was working on painting these wings, and my wife goes, "When are you going to stream?" And I go, "When I get these wings to the point to where they're going to make a good thumbnail." Like, everything I'm doing is interlocked. YouTube streaming, painting, shipping, packaging the stuff, ordering the supplies, making sure I have paint, making sure I have brushes. It's just constant spinning plates. And yeah, on that note too as well, awesome one. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. As skills are skills, you know, grad school is probably why you have skills. Grade school, that's right. Going to grade school, I got you. Bob Ross, my after grad school drug of choice. Oh my God, yeah, Bob is amazing. That dude is awesome. And yes, Malin and Mange for the W. Yeah, let me say that too. You know, it's crazy. The best thing I've done the last few days has been smoking a joint, ordering a pizza. I like it. And thinking about an encore. Yes, indeed. Well, that's why Pizza Live, it's like I had waffles today. That's why I have the Waffle Lodge and I have Pizza Live. Those are the foods I love. Those are my favorite, you know, American foods. That's right. Allow Sheath, says Cranberry, Langer's channel member and Rockstar. Welcome. So yeah, something I was thinking about and I wanted to make sure I did say, and I'm sure you guys are quite aware of this, is that when you're in the Comicsgate space, when you're in YouTube space and doing all of this kind of stuff, you get to know people a little bit. You think you kind of, you know people. I would never go out and say, "Oh, I know this person so incredibly well." But you get to know people, particularly when you work with them. And it's and I did some work on the logo and the font stuff on Godlike for John, and then I've done some stuff that's going to be in the new Visions book and things like that. But John and I are the same age, I believe, and John and I grew up on similar stuff. You know, we grew up on and loving some of the same comics. We love Wills, we love Rob Liefeld, we love and we love the art form so much. And you know, I was incredibly moved by the way John and affected by the way that John conducted himself in a very difficult situation during a very difficult time, because it's something that you find yourself in those situations from time to time, and sometimes you wonder, you're like, am I with the right, like, am I with people who sort of really understand this kind of thing, like what it's like to be confronted in a tough situation and make the smart choices and conduct yourself admirably and take risks. And John just hit it out of the park, you know. But for me, watching it and seeing it, I felt like something was happening to like one of my brothers or something, man. It was a lot to watch, and you know, I have so much respect for that guy. Yeah, he does know the way. Amen. Yeah. Yeah, the Pizza Live clip thumbnail made me think Shanth was in extreme distress. I kind of was. Yeah. Lots of cool kids showing up once again, indeed. Yeah, the cool kids are here. Celebrates 18 months of membership with a simple statement. Stephen Rockwood is a gentleman and a scholar, and so he'd like to offer you on this fine Sunday these important words of encouragement, or this word, Budes. So remember that, guys. I am here to serve Stephen Rockwood. Yeah, he did. He handled it incredibly well. And for, you know, those of you guys who follow me on Twitter, you know I responded to something with the, you know, with one of my favorite movies, I think it was 82, if I'm not mistaken, film, you know, Gandhi with the brilliant Ben Kingsley in the role playing Gandhi. And it was interesting because, you know, when I was put in certain situations in my work, I would make those kinds of things, and people don't fully grasp how difficult it can be to walk the walk. And those two gentlemen, I don't even know what I would describe Shane's walk as, but by God, it is glorious. But those two gentlemen did an amazing job, and John just he became something really special in terms of pop culture history again. First man over the wall, and then yeah, that was something special. And what I would say to John, if John would take my calls, and I need you guys to understand, he won't do it. But what I would say to John, if he would take my calls, is you in that moment, as an independent creator, and your significance as an independent creator, in my opinion, I will not insult his hero, so I will just say this. You matched Rob Liefeld in terms of drawing and designing the image eye, going to Malibu Comics and releasing your book as an independent and all the blowback to say, this is what I want to do. I want to try to make working conditions better for the next generation of creators. You easily matched your hero and may have surpassed him with both your, in that moment, plus you being the first man over the wall in Comicsgate. You did something as an artist, as a creator, but also as an independent that puts you in a rarefied air, man. And I want you to know I know that, man. It's crazy. Yeah. Why won't he take my call? It's crazy. Probably because I won't call. Oh, yeah. And guys, Comicsgate, triple threat, guys. Support the hell out of that thing. Oh my gosh, was Random McRanderson gifting memberships? What the heck? Henry Bemis is now a member again. Simply Green, where is Random? Scottsley is now a member. Random McRanderson was gifted a membership by Random McRanderson. Only seems fair. You gifted 5 Shanth Enjeti Art memberships, you maniac. I need to pay attention to the chat more. What do I Charge! I mean, you know... And that last one was for Stephen Rockwood. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Random McRanderson, you legend. And gifting them and giving them on myself. Listen, sometimes you've got to treat yourself just as well as you treat others, my friend. Yes, indeed. Random McRanderson is awesome. Thank you, sir. You are a gentleman. Much love. And everybody, try out, if you're a new member, try out those new custom emojis. Drop those in the chat. Unfortunately, they don't show up in Ecamm, but they still show up on YouTube. So, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, you will get jump scared by cheerleaders here every now and again. That's how we do things. But I really do think that John said a lot of stuff after that in terms of in the immediate aftermath of it, that it was a victory. It felt like a win. I think it was a tremendous win for showing courage and showing that you were going to conduct yourself with integrity in the face of something that you do not know how it's going to go. I really cannot imagine somebody handling it better than he did. But he was doing it for comics. There are not going to be a lot of times in history when you as an artist or a creator both have the opportunity to make a stand for all creators' liberty. Let's be really clear. This ain't a Comicsgate thing. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. This is about artistic liberty, what they were pretending to pay lip service to with Je Suis Charlie and all that other business. And this is the crazy part about it. Not only are those opportunities rare, it's rarer still that they are seized by people. And you watch somebody seize that opportunity, and I don't think its significance can be overstated. That's really how I feel about it. And that was why I wanted to make that video, is because I think that people should know who he is. I think that people should know his work, that he's this incredible artist who is very, very passionate about the art form. And it's the fact that he had so much going on, and there was under so much duress with his sister's health, as I think he's spoken about. that makes it even more incredible. And it's strange. Sometimes you are the right person in the right place at the right time. And I remember hearing somebody say that I don't think that situations make heroes. I think that situations reveal heroes. And I think what you saw in so many situations in Comicsgate is that when the chips are down and when people are under pressure, they oftentimes reveal their character. They reveal who they are and what they stand for. And I think a lot of times people use this as a way to pass judgment. And that is whatever. I'm not here to have that conversation because I think that's that's so tired at this point. But I really think that if we can do nothing else, we should at the very least celebrate excellence when we see it. Celebrate excellence when we see it, and that was excellence. Excellence as an artist, not just as Comicsgate, not just as a comic book artist, but excellence as an artist. And I am unbelievably proud to be associated with John Malin. And even prouder that one of my characters, he's the namesake of one of my characters. I'm surprised Mange had more free reign. Would you, seriously, even John, as brave as he is, clearly terrified of Mange. I don't mean to undo everything I just said. But I've seen fear in some people's eyes, and some people I've never seen it in, but I saw genuine fear. I've never seen Malin afraid in my life. But sitting there next to Mange was like seeing somebody with a caged tiger. That's it. Well, I will too. I'm not throwing stones in that glass house, Random McGranderson. When the chips are down, I will eat them too. But just like Pete Cimetti said, we have to make our own cons. Yes, we do. So this doesn't happen. And shout out to Pete Cimetti too. Had me on the show for Nosfero crossing its funding goal. Yep, sketching. That's what it's about. Hail Frank, the based con cop. Yeah, and hail John for facilitating that. And hail all of you guys in the chat who were watching. That was his shield too as well. You know, you still have to wield it, which he did. And Edwin the Ace, it's great to see you, my friend. Edwin the Ace, Volume 3, coming soon. There it is. And let me see here. Son of Liberty Radio, it's great to see you. I hear some entertainment and affirmation. I'm here for some entertainment affirmation. I am happy to provide it, my friend, because I love this stuff. Yeah, Pizza Champ. And Pizza Fellow New Englander with a name that ends in Eddie. So I'm down with Pete. You know? Yeah, he does look like he fits into a Comic-Con. 100%. Yeah, hail us indeed. So yeah, we saw something really great there, and I was talking to the missus, and the thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is something really important that Comicsgate has done that I think it's important to talk about because it is the core of what we do here. Comicsgate has reignited my love of comics to levels I haven't experienced since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. I'm getting out books and ordering books that I have not seen in ages. I'm getting excited about the form, even more so the more I work on it. Guys, these are... It always feels like they're tough. We're in the late 70s, essentially. These are great times. These are great times. I want you to remember more than anything else that these are great times and we are on an upward trajectory. And that doesn't mean there aren't going to be more obstacles. But what you saw at that con with people saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. One of the most powerful things you have at your disposal is your refusal. And for some folks, they don't even want you to give you the opportunity to refuse to buy Comicsgate books. They don't want you to have that opportunity. They want them to just not be there. And in a way, that kind of robs the audience of voting with their wallets, which is so strange. And I think that tells you how much they believe that it's a superior product. And I think that when we say no to talking about and being hyper-focused on the stuff other people are doing, look at the craft this is happening because of you guys. Mike Wilson art. Awesome one. Look at all of these folks in the chat here. 42 people. Hit that like, guys. Let YouTube know what's up. Cranberry Landers, it's weird to be on the other side of the your kind isn't permitted here thing. Yes, it is. It's very strange. And it does. It breeds patience. Yeah, King Cryptid by the wonderful Pete Cimetti. Check it out. Yeah, Pete is a champ. But you guys know what I mean? Yep, tough times make great men. Soft times make soft men. 100%. I think that these are, when... I don't know. I'm sure you guys remember. What am I saying? But if you haven't, you can watch it on YouTube. When The Rocketeer was coming out, when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was coming out, it was like you had this amazing secret before the tidal wave of creativity, imagination, and everybody was reading comics. And that is what is happening right now. That's what Godlike, Nosfero, CYBERFROG, Black and White, Inglorious Rex... That's what all of these things are. We're making work. The Lucent 2, Painted Death. My brother Michael Bancroft. Battle Brick Road 2, which I am painting for right now. That is what it's about. What is up, Pranvant? I'm always pronouncing it wrong. It is great to see you. How are you doing? That art looks fucking badass. Thank you so much, my friend. You got me swearing on stream. It's great to see you in the house, my friend. Let me see here. Out of control inflation, skyrocketing gas prices. These are, interestingly enough, the fuel for art. The fuel for art. Hatred for what you are, you're not able to change unless you violate your conscience. Yep, similar to Jesus and the equal rights movements. Yep, yeah. Shanth Enjeti is an amazing artist. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to have that spelled out phonetically for me, because the last name, is it Gulati? And is it... I'm trying to think of how to enunciate it. Because my name is Shanth. Is it like Prashanth? Is it like Pranvant? Or is it something else? Help me pronounce it. We are the mutants, yes, hated and feared 100%. And you know what the thing is that made the mutants feared? Okay, good. So it's like Prashanth. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that, my brother. But here's the thing that's crazy, right? Refer to him as Gelato. Well, there you go. That's a kick-ass last name. I like it. So here's the thing, though, right? Is that the X-Men had powers. They were able to create things. They were able to do things. And the people who supported them could see that ability. And the people who couldn't hated and feared them for that ability. And that is the most fascinating thing about all of this stuff that we're doing. When we were reading those comics, whether it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or anything else, we were reading that stuff because we're so passionate about the work. We're so passionate about comics. We had these amazing things, but those did not come out of, the heyday of comics. They basically created a space to where the talent had to happen outside of the institution. That is why you got things like Warren Publishing. That's why you got folks like Bernie Wrightson. That's why you got folks, like everybody at the studio, Mike Kaluta, Barry Windsor Smith, Jeff Jones. I mean, that's how you got all of that stuff to happen. Man, I love painting Battle Brick Road 2. The link for it is in the description. And that was the thing, too. The other night, I was going through folders trying to clear up my computer. You wouldn't know it by how it functions. But I was trying to clear up some space on my computer. And I had the experience of seeing for the first time in a long time my CyberFrog piece that I did for Ethan that ended up being a trading card. And I was just like, dang, this is good. And then I started looking at, because I don't really often stop to admire my work, because that's usually when, as you know, in boxing, that's usually when you get clipped. Or when you're playing the violin, that's usually when you mess up. But I was looking at it, and then I was looking at Razor Fist, the Ghost of the Badlands piece I did for him. And then I was looking at the Lucent piece I did for Ethan, thinking about all of the amazing work and Nosfero that I've had the opportunity to create since coming into this space. And guys, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Yeah, don't trade the card. Yes, I won't. I won't trade the card. Yes. Battle Brick Road by Eric Weathers. Thank you, Eric Cuffles. You rock. Our current gov is like the X-Men government. Yeah, sending agents, sentinels. Yeah. And you know what's so funny about all of this stuff is that, what is the expression? The more they tighten their grip, the more star systems will slip through their fingers. It's so true. When you come from the outside, you can come at them from a different angle, and then they are not themselves. Yeah, they're not able to prepare for this, guys. And that's what it is, Mr. Monkey Boy. What's up? What's up? And so, here's the thing about it. When I'm reading Comicsgate books, or when I'm reading indie books of any kind, when I was watching that movie, I love that movie so much, guys. If you've not seen it, check out The Last Pizza Live, or just watch it on its own and then check out Pizza Live. But The City of the Dead from 1960 is amazing. It's a great film. But there's so much independent stuff being done now that we can learn about. I see Anna painting. There's so much traditional artwork. I love this stuff that we're doing here, guys, and I think it's only going to get bigger and better, That's why they built a weapon. Yes, exactly right. No fingers required. You got it 100%. Yeah. And this is the thing. It takes decades and talent to learn how to make comic books. But it takes something else to learn how to be independent and to be Comicsgate. It takes an equal part of courage, and it takes an equal part of discipline. And this is the thing, is that for when you are, and anybody who is my plumber, shout out to John D, he knows who he is. But my plumber runs his business. That means that he is underneath the sink, and then he has to do everything else at the end of the day. We are laborers with a very high level of specific skill. It's different than starting something and, having people underneath you. We are the bottom, and we are the top of the operation. That means when you get a book from me, I put it in the box. That was all me. And the bigger we get, the more opportunities we have to bring people on. But we are putting the paint on the paper for you guys, in front of you guys. Yep. We are warriors for the working day. Amen. There was something, and Mike, you'll appreciate this. We got to do that stream where we watch our first meeting at some point, Mike. I'm not trying to put pressure on you because I know you got a lot going on, but it will be hilarious. But there was something that I heard Werner Herzog say that I loved. He goes, all these artists who are testing their boundaries and their inner self. He goes, what foolishness is this? I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those. I'm just a silent soldier of cinema. And I went, that's what it is. Or I think it was a quiet soldier of cinema. I am a quiet soldier of comics. I just work. I paint. There's nothing, there's skill, there's talent, there's all that stuff, but it is discipline and patience to get a book color corrected in InDesign. To go over the script, to go over, it's all of that stuff, and then to still make sure you YouTube. I mean, Mike, I want to salute Mike if I can. Can I salute Mike? Well, it shouldn't be too hard. And Henry Bemis, I don't even know if I said hi to you. I love you, brother. Whenever I see you, it puts a huge smile on my face. I'm glad you're a channel member again. I love putting that in the credits. Yes, indeed. Thank you. It was Past Master Dan, I believe, who gifted you the membership. I hope I'm right on that. But this is the thing, Mike, if I can say this. I was going through the channels I'm subscribed to. I found a Taekwondo channel that I had totally forgotten. That was the style of Taekwondo I studied when I was a kid, and I was just curious to go back and look at it. And I realized how many people don't YouTube and aren't YouTubing anymore that I followed. And these could be a toy channel that started. These could be this. This is a part-time job that sometimes almost feels like a full-time job. On top of shipping, which is a full-time job. On top of painting, which is a full-time job. On top of all of the things. And I know that the people in this chat are not strangers to hard work. And that is why I love working for you guys. This is your time to put I feel like I just went into a Goonies speech. It's our time down here. But this is your time to put your feet up, to get inspired, to hear something positive, and to watch somebody work on this painting and enjoy sharing it with you guys. I thank God every day that whatever this weird tendency or ability I have to paint and talk at the same time is there, because I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It's a commitment. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and Michael and I should be committed. You know? All right. What's up, Scarlet Fever? It's great to see you. How are you doing? Everybody saying hello, hello. I'm just... Seriously. I hear you. It's time for waffles, my friend. You must have waffles forthwith. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's... I was messaging back and forth with Eric about art on Twitter, and I was talking about this Alfred Hitchcock movie that we're dissecting right now, which is The Foreign Correspondent. Or sorry, Foreign Correspondent, not The Foreign Correspondent, but Foreign Correspondent. It's one of Hitchcock's films that he did over in the UK in the build-up to our involvement in World War II, and it's a masterpiece. Special effects by William Cameron Menzies. What's up, Art of Roy? It is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Yeah, if we're committed together, we can watch old movies in our bathrobes. 100%, man. That's the plan. Yeah, oh, my tinnitus on overload last night. Couldn't sleep. Ooh, sorry, awesome one. Yeah, I've had friends with that, and it is, I know it's a pain. 100% a pain. But we're talking about art and painting, and I'm talking about, you know, the interplay between composition and this is the thing. Here's what I'll tell you, a little thing. So Eric and I started talking, and he was asking me stuff about paints, and he knows that I've taught painting, and I taught for 15 years at Rhode Island School of Design, which I guess is considered by people to be the Harvard of art schools in the United States of America. Do with that what you will. And what's interesting to me is, when I walked away from teaching, one of the reasons why, one of the things that where my brain sort of went is, I was a little bit like, Hattori Hanzo in Kill Bill. I was like, I don't want to teach again, because if I ever teach again, I don't ever want to feel like I'm teaching or working with anybody who is either not going to appreciate it, or it's going to use it to go be a part of whatever, censoring other artists or anything else. Like, it was a very tough, it was tough for me. It was tough for me to move away from it. And then, out of nowhere, I started working with Eric just as a way, so we just get together and we could talk about art, and I could talk about various things, because when the more skilled you become as an artist, and the more, you get down a very specific, road as an artist, the harder it is for you to find people who can bring something to your game that is not their particular style or their subjective approach. And I like working with people that are really driven and really good. And it's really, there's a lot that has been reignited in me that I am grateful for. And I thank Eric for that. And we've been having great art conversations. If you are committed, did you go quietly or the Ned Flanders? It's tough to say. I'm a little Ned Flanders and a little go quietly. That's right. Hail Henry Bemis says Art of Roy, and it's great to see you, Art of Roy. Committed? Does Mel know? Yeah, well, we are committed. We're in a committed relationship. It just means, mentally. Shanth is like Master Roshi. He only takes worthy pupils who bring him new vaccines. Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. Hail dude, Henry Bemis says to Art of Roy. Yeah. It's because there's a mindset that my mentor has, and now Eric is a part of that lineage now, which is a big thing to pass on, to where it's about, how do I word it? It's about undoing a lot of the kind of step-by-step, gosh, how do I move my camera? So, sorry guys, I got to do this the old-fashioned way. It's about undoing a lot of the canned advice that you see everywhere, if that makes sense. And one of those things is that composition and drawing are separate steps. And for the illustrator, for the true illustrator, and this is one of the many kinds of conversations that Eric and I have. Sorry you guys can't be flies on the wall for it. But, we sometimes we get together, we need that downtime. But it's... The reason why they're viewed as two separate things is because most people can fake teaching composition better than they can fake knowing how to draw. But in reality, the composition, the drawing, all of that stuff should be integrated together. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have checked out Eric's site on, I think, ArtStation, his URL on that. But Eric is a very, accomplished painter and has a very good grasp of detail. And you can't pretend like someone doesn't see detail when you're teaching them and say, no, everything is just blocks, because one, they're not just seeing blocks. And you can put a lot more weight on the bar. And to be able to have those kinds of conversations, what was it? My mentor is a gentleman by the name of Brian Stelfreeze. He's an incredible comic book artist. And I actually had him, my last year teaching college, I had him come up, them fly him up as a guest lecturer at the art school I was teaching at. Just a tremendously brilliant man. And I also had him up to RISD as well. I had them fly him up for that, and I'm his chauffeur when he comes up here. And he told me a story back from when art school had grit. You know, when students were expected to come in and be serious, that he came into his freshman art class, his drawing class, and the professor came in the room, looked at the wall full of student work, went, ugh, went out in the hallway and dragged one of those heavy metal drum trash cans into the room. And then he went down the wall and took all of the drawings but 3 off the wall and put them in the trash. This was Brian's freshman year. Then he pointed, and Brian's was, of course, still on the wall, one of 3 still on the wall. Then he pointed at the 3 on the wall, and he said, these 3 are shit, but at least I can talk about them. And I was like, wow. And that is why Brian is Brian. That is why Brian is Sensei. And it's funny, when you know that Brian exists, I know that's crazy, a lot of people do, but when you're an artist and you learn about Brian, you suddenly see that everyone respects him and he's everywhere in an instant. Yeah, that's a critique. So Brian's opening salvo to me when he met me, when I came down to Gaijin Studios in Atlanta was, so, are they teaching you any art at art school? That's hello. And last time he was up, I asked him, I said, Brian, why did you continue to mentor me? I will never understand that. And he goes, we didn't actually, and I didn't. Everyone who came into Gaijin was just trashed mercilessly. And they all gave up. You were the person who kept coming, one of the people who kept coming back. And when you kept coming back, we went, oh, he can hang. That's it. That's it. You've got to be able to hang. You've got to have people who, when they tell you you've done something that's a decent job, it means a lot to you. It's got to mean a lot. And I was already teaching at Rhode Island School of Design for, I think, almost a decade when I had him up here, but I couldn't say for sure because time is a blur, as you know, as you get older. And I had, lectured at Microsoft Games and all of those kinds of things. But when Brian called me up to, and also working as a concept artist, I've done, comic book stuff, all of it. But when Brian called me up one time or sent me a text out of the blue and was like, we need to have a conversation about painting, it was essentially, your work has finally progressed to the level where you're ready for the next level of critique. And I think that was the best thing, the thing I'm most proud of accomplishing as an artist is getting to a point to where Brian said I was ready for the next level of critique, and that he would give me the grace of his time to tell me what I was doing wrong. And that's what people should do. Nah, I hate those kinds of professors. I went to school for architecture, and that was very old school like that. In retrospect, it was just because that's what had been done to them. Well, here's the thing about it. It is not to say that I thought that was a that is not a level, the type of instruction I ever gave. Let's never get it twisted, ever. And that's not what Brian did. That's not at all. What it was is what they were saying in that, how do I put it? It can be as much a cover for them not knowing what they're doing as it can be a sign that they're testing your strength, and you never know which one it is. But as you know, if when you look back on a professor who did that, and Past Master Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, if you look back on a professor who did that and you learned from them and they changed your life, you wouldn't mind. If you didn't learn from them and they just were dramatic, you can't stand it. And you see the difference? And I had professors who were like that, and I learned nothing from you. You were just like, everything is wrong, and never taught anything, you know? And it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, look at you guys saying yes a little. The stream buffering. Yeah, God knows what's going on with the internet. Let's get back to Microsoft Stat. They forget what a woman looks like. Yeah. Well, and when I went there to lecture on character design, I was on vacation with my family, and they flew, and we were visiting my brother Rocky out in San Francisco, and that was when I got to go to Skywalker Ranch and Pixar. I mean, back in the day, right? It was so much fun because a lot of my friends ended up in the animation industry out there, and one of the things that was so crazy about it is that while I was out there, they flew me up to Microsoft Games. They got me a limo at the airport to go and talk about, anthropology and character design in their game division, and it was a wild. Yeah, it was a wild time, but I've done stuff for DreamWorks Consumer Products, and all of us, everybody in this space doing any level of high caliber work has a career. They've accomplished a lot, and that's what I really like. And it's a good doctor doesn't tell you, like, you guys know this, right? And boy, are we in need of some more good doctors. So yeah, if you've got a kid or a family member who is great with people and smart and they're studying medicine, hats off to them. But a good doctor gives you actionable intelligence, actionable information. A good art teacher gives you something you can do every time you see them that will improve your work. That telling somebody, this is what I don't like about critique culture alone, telling somebody what they're doing wrong is not the same thing as teaching them how to do something right. And if they don't take that information, then they're wasting your time. But if you don't ever give them that information, then how are they supposed to learn? You can't tell somebody they're doing something wrong over and over again and get them to the right answer. I had a logo design professor like that. He was called the Burninator. You're killing me, dude. You're killing me. Yeah, validation is not teaching. Yeah, I locked my professor out of a classroom once and had everyone sit with their hands together on the desks, ignoring her banging on the door. I learned how angry she could get. There you go. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Sorry, it's buffering again, guys. If you're worried about your interruptions now, YouTube plans to add ads when you pause. That's crazy. Now you're buffering hard. Darn it! I have no idea why that is. Hopefully... Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it will not be as bad, or it'll calm down. Or maybe... Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I'm getting buff. Yeah. I should check and see. God knows what my storage is on this thing. Let me just check and see. I don't think it's a problem. But let's just check and see. Nope, we're good. I do not know why it is giving us this ruckus. But let me know if it clears up too. Just let me know in the chat if it improves, stays the same, or gets worse. So for me, one of the things that, is the real joy of being in this space, and one of the things that is great is not only seeing people of high skill level, and people who just work like crazy. I assumed it was my crappy country internet to send me penis. You just cracked me up with that, dude. Yeah, I know. I saw an ad on a live stream last night. It begins, yeah. I'm also in the boonies. Well, I'm in the boonies, too. YouTube just keeps accidentally playing videos between their ads. I'm sure they'll patch that eventually. Yeah, ugh, yeah. It's crazy. It looks pretty good now. Okay, there we go. Has calmed down a little. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope things work out. But it's being with people who share your principles of so your skill set is big. Yeah, we were watching a lot of Strong Bad at the time. Oh my gosh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, some students get off on see, that's the other thing, makes them feel special, like they're undergoing some trial, not just some a-hole who can't speak to students with minimum civility. You're absolutely right. Yeah, them internets ain't quite right, says Stephen Rockwood. Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? Is that when you have, there's a different kind of teacher. There's a teacher who goes, how do I put it? I think you can tell, could be wrong, but you guys can probably tell this on the stream. I think you can tell when somebody's actually invested in you. Do you know what I mean? I think you can when I watch the Townsend's YouTube channel, they're there. They're present. You know, and when I'm here, I'm present. And my students always got that sense. And when I went to learn from Brian Stelfreeze, I went down to Gaijin Studios, which was an hour and a half from my house, from Chattanooga to Atlanta, back when I was living in Tennessee. The day after I got my wisdom teeth out, and I had an infection, and my cheek was out like Popeye, and they just looked at me, drove 2 hours down there, and they go home. You look terrible. I went home and I slept for 2 days. It was nuts. But I was desperate to learn. I found someone with the information I needed to learn. Guys, that's what comic shops were for me. You know? That's what comic shops were for me. I was like, oh my gosh, you like all this stuff too? Comics, and maybe this is why I take it so personally. Comic book shops and comic book conventions were always incredibly welcoming places. And I am incensed when people claim they weren't, and while trying to make them unwelcoming places. Because God bless my comic shop owner, Wade Sane, in Chattanooga, who had to listen to me when I was dropped off to look at comic books go on and on and on about art and everything. And he would always try to order me the comics I wanted. And back then you had to call around to shops and see if you could get it for somebody. And I mean, this is before eBay. I mean, amazing people. Shanth, question. Why, when drawing wings on humans, artists draw the wings almost on another plane compared to the body it's attached to? There a reason? Well, one of the reasons is aesthetic. But it's weird because it's the same thing with multiple arms, right? In Hinduism, in representation of various deities and even demon like Ravana. So for me, in this case, the way I'm painting the wings are because the wings aren't hers; they're the chimp's, and that has made for a really, really difficult compositional problem. Because I have to, they're kind of wrong on both a little bit for the aesthetic of making this character feel like a Valkyrie. So you've got a flying monkey composed to make it look like she has wings. Does that make sense? And they're not quite right, and they kind of have to seem not quite right, but right at the same time. Does that make sense? Hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, totally. Those guys are amazing because there isn't any natural place to attach wings, yes, to the anatomy on a human's back. Yeah, you're right, with the shoulder blades and everything. Our comic shop mostly talked about what they watched on TV. Yeah, that's true as well. Teen Girl Squad at Michael Bancroft. Yes, anatomy, says Mike Wilson. Yeah, when I'm drawing, when I draw characters with wings, which is not very often, there's so many different ways to do it. I usually just do that. There's like almost like an additional shoulder blade level, so it's like it's cascading back, but it's always very tricky because that will affect the arm no matter how you do it. It'll affect the arm and the rib cage, so it's always tricky. It's always a tricky thing. Kind of have to just go into the fantasy realm. I love doing the flying monkeys in this. I love painting them, and I love how Eric Weathers designed them. They're so great. You're lucky the comic shops of my youth were owned by cranky guys. Yeah, I bet that was also the case in some of the shops. Yeah, owned by cranky guys who got a shop so they'd have a place to store their collection. Yes, that's another example, right? They're the comic shop owners who are very knowledgeable, but are not very welcoming. They're the comic book shop owners who don't know anything about comics. But a really great comic shop owner is a rare and incredible thing indeed. Somebody who's highly knowledgeable and wants to share that knowledge with the next generation. And interestingly enough, that's something that has maybe been on my mind a little bit, which is we lost a generation of folks because non-representational art has been pushed for so long, and the comic book industry basically removed all of the folks like with knowledge of the craft from any position to talk and teach the younger generation, because the younger generation knew everything. We've lost that lineage, and I do hope we can rediscover that a bit in Comicsgate. I really do. I think, younger generations coming up, if we see talent, somebody working hard with the discipline and the, the mettle, frankly, to do it, that's important. Let's see here. If you design a character, a winged character, they still have to follow, yes, the body's position. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Why is the monkey... I'm not going to answer that. Admiral, behave. Yep. When I was growing up, Brandon McGranderson says, when I was growing up, the guy who owned my local comic shop would play me on... just jumped again. Would play me on Capcom versus Marvel Arcade a lot. And he would often give me free plays all the time. They went out of business a long time ago. Yeah, oh, that's so crazy. Do we all live in the Georgia, North Carolina tri-state area? It's weird how you can find us all together. I'm not even kidding, Art of Roy. Let's see here. Remember that birds' wings are the same bone as the muscle structure of your arms. So adding wings to a human is essentially adding a second set of arms. Absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, the red pink is very rich. Oh, thank you very much. My friend and I used to have hour-long conversations with our comic shop owners, yeah, and got his business salvaged and a new start. Oh, that's awesome, Cranberry Landers. I love hearing that. I'm in Florida, Art of Roy. Right on. Yeah, people are cracking up. What's your paint of choice? In my case, it's heavy body Liquitex acrylics because they have more opacifier in them. I use water-based media, and then Pelican Pan opaque watercolors and gouache. I like the matte finish on it, but when I use acrylics and gouache, the main thing for me is the color, and the reason and they both, like, the mixing and the layering aspects of them are different, but the end goal for me is weirdly similar. It's weirdly similar. I saw a Frank Frazetta acrylic at an exhibition that was at the Peabody Essex Museum in Salem, Massachusetts. Yes, the Salem, Massachusetts. And actually, what am I saying? I have in the link to this video, it says videos that might inspire you. I have my trip to that exhibition. You can see me close-up film Frank Frazetta's, but his acrylics and oils have a similar look, although you can tell they're painted with different media. So yeah, that's crazy. Oh, I'm in Colorado, is that right? But from Washington. Until 2 years ago, I was in South Florida. There you have it. I thought we were all in Ohio, says Paulus Arts. Yeah, we're everywhere. We're in Australia. I live in Orlando, but I was born and raised in Kennesaw, Georgia. Where is Kennesaw, Georgia? Because, I'm from Chattanooga, of course I drove down to Florida, like any good Tennessean. But I feel like I know where Kennesaw is, interestingly enough. Huge population of comic book fans and buyers in the South. I know I was one of them. People are shocked by that. But there's a ton of comic book shops. They were always around when I was growing up. And a huge science fiction fan base there, too. Yeah, now in South Carolina. There you go. Nice. I used acrylics for being cheaper price, and they dry faster. Yes, indeed. Yeah, heavy body acrylics, if you've never used the modern acrylics, they're not even the same thing. Like, the paint is quality, and what our breakthroughs with paint have been extraordinary. Let's see if I can adjust the gamma on this just a little bit, because it'll record and post in HD no matter how many gaps we have. But there we go. I just want to get the visual richness a little bit better for you guys. Oh, north of Marietta. Oh, I've driven through there all the time. Yeah, my buddy Brian was from there. Oh, you're from West Tennessee. No kidding. Yeah, my friend Brian, from the Marietta area, drove with me to Graceland, over to Memphis. I ate barbecue on Beale Street and went to Graceland. Yep. Yeah, very fond memories of my comic shops and my fun adventures with my folks down there, my peeps, my friends, and all the guys I used to hang out with. That's where I was introduced to comics, and that's what I sort of feel I've come home to in this space. I will say this, watching everybody at the convention. Yeah, half the out of state plates I see here are from Tennessee. No kidding. But this is the thing: watching everybody at the convention, hanging out, was amazing. Like, it really brought back some fond memories of going to conventions and things I haven't really thought about in a long time. And I am very, I'm very inspired with by the company that I keep, and I feel like I'm finally getting to spend time around people who have put the same kind of, we're a strange crew. Not only people who read comics like myself, but people who make comics and really study the craft of it. Everybody's got, a different take on it. Everybody sees a different part of the elephant, to use that expression, or the different part of the elephant. But it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm going to say this too. I'm going to put this out here, okay? I'm going to put this out here. I want to do a elephant trading card, Ethan. I love you, but I want to do a elephant trading card at some point. Maybe 10 years from now, who knows? But I obviously grew up, and I have both a silver and a sandalwood Ganesha in my house. My daughter, I think, has them. And the idea of painting an elephant character, I love painting elephants, rhinos, anything with really great skin texture. Oh, man, I'm bummed I missed a chance to do a pinup or something for that book. Oh, man, it looks great, though. Either way, I'm excited about it. But, yeah. Admiral Wackass says, I went to a convention, and the security guard told me she couldn't let me in or she'd lose her job. But that, I'm cute. Well, you won then, Admiral. I don't know what to tell you. Have the cherry blossoms bloomed, Emo? Yeah, they've bloomed up here. I can tell you that much. Let's see here. Unless you go out of the middle of nowhere, which is also only 30 minutes away from here. Yeah, even less. There you go. Yeah, the dogwoods also look good and bloomed. Yeah, it's beautiful this time of year. I'd like to see at least 3 meetups a year. I would too, Mike. I really would too. I won't go to them, but I'll watch them on YouTube. Yeah, okay, let me talk then. I'm going to talk about only one way that John Malin disappointed me. I thought he was a dyed-in-the-wool introvert and he left his house. Listen, we should all be sheltering in place. All true introverts. With our comics and our art-making supplies and just lay low. But by God, I unfortunately got to see John Malin go out there, show himself to be a man of honor and integrity, and also have a damn good time laughing. And it made my week, guys. It made my week, and what would make my week even better would be some positive news about his sister's health. So if you guys don't know, and I know we got a lot of folks in the chat who aren't strangers to praying for folks' health. John's Malin's sister is recovering from a very horrifying medical incident, I'm going to call it, as far as I'm concerned, malpractice. But this is news he got when he was heading out to Chicago. All this stuff, I guess, happening at the same time. So if you're the kind who does, do pray for her continued recovery and her health, because it was, that's the kind of thing. It's a call that nobody ever wants, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and she's already had a battle with cancer, and so anyway, there you go. But yeah, terrific dude, and it was nice to see a big smile on his face. I liked seeing his reaction to Shane. That was the best. It was cracking me up. He's like, this guy is crazy. It was a blast. He's probably actually, I don't know if he's still on the road, or because I think he was leaving early to go out and see his family. But yeah, God bless him. Yeah, let me see here. I went to say hey to Shane and John, but they were kind of busy, and I had to go meet up with, the Diaz's, so I headed, darn it, it jumped again. Diaz's, so I headed out without saying hi, wishing his sister the best. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. John couldn't go to Anna's wedding, but he would take us at C2E2. That's right, yeah. He's like me, he's defiant. Yeah, I was gonna buy a new iPad soon. My glasses just fell off. But they just... Oh, shoot, it just jumped again. But they just leaked the new digital... What? The DigiKit 2. So now my 2018 iPad Pro is going to have to last. Wow. That sounds cool. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's awesome. I have and I will again. I know, Cranberry Landers. I know you will, brother. Much love. And come to think about it, I believe Mount Vernon is only 30 minutes away from me. Maybe an hour. Wow, craziness. Yeah. Mange was out in full force on stream. Yes. Yes. Sometimes people come into a space like this, an independent space. They face adversity. They look inside of their hearts, and they find who they truly are. What is terrifying is when somebody looks inside and not only finds who they truly are, but they find another person in there. And that's what happened to Shane Davis. Shane Davis looked inside, and there was a large community of other people in there looking back at him, one of whom, the dominant personality, now is Mange. Mange is taking over. But I'm glad that I've got Shane around so I can talk boxing and kaiju with people. Whenever there's a new kaiju... figure or statue out of something detailed by like Yuji Sakai or somebody, I know I can send a message to Shane or, gosh, guys, Ethan took the stream down and I was like, okay, I've got to shut up and, but there was a Comicsgate King stream where we got on the subject of boxing and I about lost my mind. And then I thought, why is Shane not here right now? I want to talk boxing with Shane. What the hell? Ellie, it's great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Inside, I'm a sad clown. I feel like I've got that too, a little bit of that myself. Yeah, Shane stared into the abyss and Mange stared back. Yes. Devil Flyer, how are you doing, brother? It is great to see you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I watched some of the mainstream, but quality was so bad I stopped. Yeah, this is seriously Wi-Fi quality, and it's our tech or it's the Wi-Fi. It's everything. Oh, I think he's heading to Ohio unless his sister woke up. Gotcha. Let's see here. Yeah, he said on Twitter this morning he was driving to Ohio. Got it. Yeah. Good dude, man. Yeah, wishing her a speedy recovery and him a safe travels. Yeah, buffering is annoying. And the loading screen is back. Sorry, guys. Hopefully I didn't lose my internet. I wouldn't be shocked at this point. 62 people in here. If you can still hear me at all, do make sure you've rung the bell for notifications. Make sure that is happening because YouTube has told me that the number one metric they use is you going to YouTube and clicking notifications and being subscribed to the channel. I was not impressed by Shane's physique. Does he really box 12-year-olds? Guys are killing me. Oh my gosh. And yes, Devil Flyer, it is great to see you in the house, my brother. I hope you are well. Yeah. I was just impressed, and all I could think of when I was watching the fun they were having is that as a business, that is fun that C2E2 was denying their attendees. Does anybody who has been in this space for any period of time think for 1 second, that there's anybody we won't sell a comic to for any reason? That there's anybody we wouldn't pose for a picture with or sign their book for any reason? This is the comic book industry. And it was like that before they got here, and it will be like that after. This exclusion stuff is something they brought with them. And that is what makes Comicsgate comics great. Citizen Ronan, it's great to see you, brother. How are you doing? Yes, indeed. I'm very buffering. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hoping it recovers at some point. But yeah, hail everybody. It's great to see all of you guys in the chat. Yeah. It's, the interwebs has been crazy. Maybe they're digging up a street. Oh, we had a cell phone tower go down here in a windstorm. Everything's crazy. But it could also just be my computer is just giving up the ghost. Yeah, I was sure it was some actor at the con. Yeah, I mean, it's wild, man. And thank you guys for smashing that like button. I do appreciate it. But, when I think of what we do, the kind of entertainment that we do on our channels year round, bringing that to a convention, it's crazy. We had to become, and I'm not saying I'm anywhere near some of those other crazy guys. I'm a lot more Bob Ross than I am Art Bell, though I wish I was more Art Bell. But those guys, with our skill and our talent, if you got all of the people like the CG Kings and all of our Comicsgate folks. We got Michael Bancroft, all of these folks who are just, kicking ass, and these creators out to a convention, and people could meet us. They would go, man, I love comics. And our fans would come, and they would be the best. Our fans in Comicsgate are the best ambassadors. That's why I always tell you guys, just keep your chins up and keep, telling people how exciting what we're doing here. Because for every interaction you have, there are going to be folks who are watching it who don't post all this stuff online, who aren't maybe active. You guys know. Lurkers who are looking for cool entertainment and stuff to read. And you guys, when you share stuff out, when you're excited, when you're laughing, it's a great space, man. It's great to see people. I don't know. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really proud of this, and I'm proud of the stuff that we're doing here, because this wouldn't have been possible at any other time. Any other time, and the fact that it's possible and improbable, and that we're doing it, is incredible. It's I can't say it any fairer than that. I can't say it any fairer than that. And when yesterday, after I was, working on the studio and I was organizing stuff, and I was working on this painting, and I was getting reference for things and all this stuff that was, all the work that's continual that we do, and getting stuff figured out for YouTube. I was also editing that video I posted on Twitter, because I wanted to make sure there was a way to get things out with the clearest audio, and also with a description of what people were seeing, which thank you, Ethan, for showing that on your stream as well, and for the shout out. Much appreciated, brother. But the thing that was so crazy is I got, black and white in the mail, and I was looking at Art T. Bear's inks, and I was thinking about, getting to know Art, as a person, and getting the new Fantastic Four books, walking through this bus tunnel that goes through Missionary Ridge in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to this comic shop called Comics and Curios. And the first time I saw Art T. Bear's signature was on that legendary Arthur Adams penciled, Art T. Bear inked book. And, it's crazy how the universe brings people together. And it's just a trip every single day. And meeting all of you guys, and then seeing people go, oh my gosh, I remember Spring Ball. When are we going to get more Spring Ball? I'm like, what is happening, man? It's nuts. CyberFrog 3, Red Extermination. It's so funny. Like, here's another wish. Here's another wish I have. Because I know Ethan has copious amounts of time. I would love, that felt so wonderful. I would love to get, for the those of us with glasses, I would love to get an 8.5 by 11 larger format CyberFrog, because Ethan's amount of detail is nuts. And as a connoisseur of detail, not to mention the coloring, which is fantastic, I would love to get Nosfero-sized copies of CyberFrog, because and square bound and all that stuff, because I actually I'd love to just dive into the detail. He's meticulous with the stuff he's doing. He's so meticulous, it's ridiculous. You could say it's ridiculous. That's something you could say. I feel comfortable saying that. And I want to see someone who was. Does anybody know who the cat was? God bless you, Kramer Lantress. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, when you guys post stuff on Twitter that's positive about work, getting the books and everything like that, it means a lot to us, and it means a lot to me. So I thank you so much, and thank you for all of your support. But who was the artist who was doing the Inglorious Rex 3D looking figure? I think in a miniature and printed out. That's beautiful. I feel like I didn't tell the person. I might have posted it at one point to them, so I can't remember anything at this point. My brain is going. But that thing is awesome. We've got some crazy talented people here. Have you it just jumped. Have you considered pitching Spring Ball with a tagline? No, I haven't. Admiral, every now and again, I think that I'm going to read something serious. You almost get me. But you've got me enough times. I think you're ahead on the scorecards. Wow, beach towels now remind me of going to Kmart to buy a towel for the beach. Yes, indeed. Blue light special. Boo this man. There it is. I know. I can't read this. Agree. Matt Barr keeps saying he wishes more CG books were oversized for the art. then they're booing. Are you booing me? Oh, boo the. I have no idea who you're booing. Let's assume it's me. Boo. Michael Bancroft laughing. This summer, get your ball sprung with Spring Ball. There it is. Also had a sidekick called Spring Roll. Oh, now I'm... Awesome one. My man. You're making me hungry. There, I said it. At Shanth Enjeti, recommendations for reference master study books for page composition. Currently working through creative... Oh. I bow to you, first of all, for honoring Andrew Loomis, the legend. Gosh, I gotta crack every bone in my body at some point. Andrew Loomis is fantastic. Anything Brian Stelfreeze does is fantastic. And in particular, I don't know if you can still find them around, but they do these large format Daemon books that are great. And then there's Framed Ink, which is a fantastic book. Framed Perspective, which is another fantastic book for composition. But here's the biggest advice. If I could give anybody... Oh, you were booing my dad joke pun. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's fine. This was just a trick to catch off. Yes, you guys got me. Here's the biggest advice I would give to anybody. If you're interested in animation, animate. If you're interested in comics, draw a comic. Now, I know that sounds nuts, but you will end up looking at reference on your way to doing it. But at a certain point, the most important thing is to just take your shot at it. Woden shot. I feel like now that's like everything is... Mange and Shane are like a one man or two man slang or meme machine. He's a legend. But I would say the biggest advice I would give anybody is to draw a comic book from start to finish. It doesn't matter if it's 9 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, and then draw another. But I would say Framed Ink is great. Anything by Brian Stelfreeze you're going to learn from. Let's see. Who else? Here's another question I should ask before I even give, to be useful. How would you describe your style in terms of who are the artists that you want to, or you're driven to sort of draw like? And would you say your stuff is more big, bold shapes like a Mignola? Is it more drawing heavy, like hatching and cross-hatching? So that kind of thing. Give me some thought on that. Crappy read the second one first. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. I am the dyslexia is strong in me. Sounds fire. Damn, I might go get a Singapore. Oh yeah, that does sound good. Singapore noodle now. I'm going to pay way at 5 and getting spring rolls. True story. Eric Huffles, I love it. Love it indeed. Because I think when I'm teaching and working with people, a big thing always is and I think Guillermo del Toro said this once, is that you can't know what shoe somebody should wear when you don't know what size their foot is. And I think that's a big aspect of it. Going to conventions, this is another thing we're kind of missing. Back in the old days of going to conventions, there were a lot of artists there, and there were a lot of artists that you could, on occasion, have the chance to show your artwork to get feedback. And there's some canned advice that you can give not having seen somebody's work, and then there's a level of examination that you need to get really good feedback. And I need to look at somebody's work and see how their hand moves and see like how the kind of marks they make. I need to know if they're left or right-handed. That's a major thing for me. All of my favorite artists, my 3 favorite artists, I think were left-handed. Yeah, Todd McFarlane I'm right-handed, but Todd McFarlane was left-handed, Dave Stevens was left-handed, and Manny Pacquiao was left-handed. So that's how it is. Admiral's cracking me up. What did he say? I draw like a 5-year-old. Leprestes was recently saying that he constantly draws until the wee evenings. Yeah, me too, as well. Do better, Shanth. You're messing up your insults. I know, my insults are terrible. My brother, channel member Timmy Mello in the house. Timmy, welcome, good sir. I hope you are having a fine Sunday, and it's great to see you in the chat. But yeah, I mean, it's if you're studying a lot of left-handed artists get really bad carpal tunnel because they make them, or I should say, everybody they watch is right-handed, and then people don't know that you've got to, reverse things for lefties and then figure out other ways to work. But Leonardo da Vinci was a left-handed artist as well, so all of that stuff is important, yeah, it's all a part of the studying process. But I think you can't go wrong with Loomis, and you can't go wrong with framed ink, to be sure. There's also a person who did a book called Story Sketches. His name is Hans Bacher, Hansbacher, and he's got a great black and white studies from film book, and doing studies from paused film is really useful as well. So hopefully some of that is useful, my friend. Agent Zero, hail to you. It's great to see you. I hope you're having a fine Sunday, my friend. I wear stupid phone. I wear a 15. Shoot, it just jumped again. I wear 15 2E. Now you know. For me at least, Sean. That's right. There you go. You guys are cracking me up. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm learning everybody's shoes so I can figure out what kind of, or feet, so I can learn what kind of shoe they need. My style straddles between a stick figure and meh. Laugh out loud. There you go. Yep. Oh my gosh. You guys are a riot. 67 people in the house. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you tell people where you're at. Make sure you know how appreciated you are. And thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Nosfero the Crypt Walker. Thank you for your patience as this one-man Looney Tune mails it out and hand seals every single one of those comics. And again, I want to congratulate John Malin on Godlike, which is now shipping out, which I know is a very big artistic moment in his work in terms of where he wants to push things stylistically and artistically and as a writer. And also for his incredible performance and representation of independence and creative liberty at C2E2. Well done, sir. I tip my hat. Evolutionary biologies postulate that left-handedness persisted due to their advantage in fighting, but the advantage isn't so much to allow the difference to isn't so much to allow the difference to spread as much. Yes, and anybody, if you are, most boxers struggle to fight skilled southpaws as a result, and it's strange though, because I have to believe that there must be something about the pathways it goes down to your left arm that is responsible for the disproportionate and overrepresentation of left-handed people in the creative fields. So while Michelangelo is a masterful draftsperson and painter and left this incredible body of work, he studied Da Vinci. Da Vinci was the fountain from which that came from. So left-handedness is... Da Vinci wasn't just a painter or an artist. He was like an engineer. He was a genius. Yeah. Let's see here. Ellie says, Ellie Irish wristwatch. Gosh, I cannot pronounce anything. I recently broke my dominant arm and had to learn to be ambidextrous, and it doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, it's a little tricky. The Lucent Painted Death, right there. Eric Huffle's dropping the link. The Lucent Painted Death, with which is a beautiful book by one of my favorite creators, Michael Bancroft. If you haven't bought the Lucent 2 Painted Death yet, if you haven't backed those things, please do. He inspires me as both an artist, as a brother, and a fellow creator. And my love of his work, love of story, and the fellowship that has come from that led to the creation of this painting right here, which is one of the most complicated paintings that I've ever done. You know, and just to get the full view of it, the full scale of it, this right here, this vortex of time and narrative and space and things moving, you know, forms flowing in and out of each other is a perfect descriptor for the kind of lyrical complexity that is the Lucent. So if you have not read it, if you have not backed it, don't miss the opportunity. And if you like hardcovers and bigger format books, Michael has made that a possibility for you on his site. So the link is in the description. Make sure you guys take advantage of that, because Michael has been in CG for a very long time, and we, as a CG, I guess, when we met, and it was wonderful. But Mike has been in the comic scene, in the indie comic scene, going back to Webtoon with the Lucent and all of these things. So he's another fellow traveler who was doing a lot of work and doing a lot of things in different places before he ended up in this space. And I do think we're at this place where there is a lot of fortuitous coming together of talent and skill and creativity that we are seeing happening right here, and an incredibly motivated and passionate audience willing to back us to the hilt and make sure that this artwork is seen and heard about and is successful. You know, well, Mazel Tov, Admiral Wackass, and good luck, sir. Oh, what's going on, Admiral? Where you heading out? Oh, no, but I'm stalking. You guys are cracking me up. Michael Bancroft, hello. Agent Zero, welcome, of course. I'm too set in my right hand ways. Left hand leads to communism. There you go. Wow, that's intense. Yeah. I'll take it. It says Mark's Music Obsession. Yes, indeed, guys. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's when I say that too, you know, talking comics with people and talking art and movies, and you know, it's a weird sort of thing. But you know, my best, like I'm a couple of years out from 50. My best friend, my brother Nick, is 63, and I tend to and we're both very focused in terms of the arts, and we like to have these intense conversations. One of the most incredible blessings a person can have that helps us to feel less, I think, isolated sometimes is what C.S. Lewis talked about with the Inklings, having people around you who understand how to discuss highly complicated things in an articulate fashion, and with whom you have differences but share principles with. And to be here, to be in this space with you guys, and with, you know, folks like, you know, Aaron Lopresti and, you know, Graham Nolan and you know, Dale and Ethan and you know, John, and be able to, like, we all have different tastes on things. We all have things that we like, you know, and different interests, but, you know, and we do have some overlap. But you've got to, you know, you got to be around people that, you know, where you feel like you're continually sort of being inspired by their grit and the different things they have going on. And so to be here is a real blessing to me, man, and I'm very grateful for it. Yeah. Rob is healthy. Is Rob healthy for a ArtShare stream? Oh, there you go. Yeah, how is Rob doing? I want to know. Gratuitous. There you go. Yeah, you guys are pushing me hard right here. Missed that about college. Still have it now, but not as grand a scale. Yeah. And you know, that's one of those things to where there's less and less of that every single year. So I think I said this to a bunch of my students that at the time that I go, sometimes you're fortunate enough to be in an art school when there's still people who know, you know, how to do that and have skill and do those kinds of things. But it's becoming, they're becoming a dying breed. And, you know, but I think everything has its ebbs and flows. I didn't really foresee of comics having this kind of, and independent comics having this grand rebirth. We were so moving in one direction, but I think this is what has been necessary, you know, for it. Man, you guys throw, like, when people hire me for commissions, they throw stuff at me that I would never typically paint. And when I was looking at the CYBERFROG piece, which the thought that most people, except for the person who bought the original, have only seen that on a trading card, is hilarious to me, because that painting is enormous. I mean, not enormous, but it's a pretty big painting. And so when I look at it, I'm always seeing it zoomed in, and I just think, wow, what a trip. Yeah, that painting is killer. The gentleman who has it, I know it went to a good home, and I'm really glad he has it. It's like, that's the thing too. When I do, because so many people are doing their work in digital, I actually don't know how many published pieces that are done in traditional, that are actual physical and not files, are going to be in the Ghost of the Badlands book. But mine will definitely be one of the few, and that's really exciting too as well, because I have not sold that piece yet. And I'm going to be selling it once that book hits and once it's out there. I think it's a pretty important milestone in the Iron Age, and in what we're doing right now. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to selling that piece. Here we go. Yeah, I want to thank Eric Weathers again for the opportunity to work on his stuff, because I love Eric's work, and he lettered Nosfero, so there's a real mutual respect there. Not comic stuff. Oh, let me get back to it. I think I missed something. I don't have any in this world, Cranberry, but love art and story. Yep, I love movies, and I have no desire to do it. We just don't. I love to enjoy it as an audience member. We just don't want you turning into Shane and getting your own Woden shot. It happens, I'm sure. Yeah. We had this huge dude in school who could draw like a master's. He's a pro commercial artist now. Those guys are amazing, right? Rob is just Rob. Nothing new to report. Sheeple Hunter. It's great to see you, brother. How you doing? I'm not sure I've had more space for my lack of expertise. Listen, guys. Let me tell you a commodity that I know you guys know. Books already shipping, Shanth. Are you yes, my books are shipping. Yeah, commissioned art, Shanth. Hopefully one day you can have the time for mine. Yeah, it has been... I'm so slammed right now. I'm grateful for it. Shanth, will you charge $20K for a head sketch like Jim Lee? I don't know. I can't imagine that point, you know. But yes, the books are shipping. I've got them. They're right next to me right there. I'm in the 400s now and just working my way. I mean, I do 400 and up is what that means, with the exception of internationals, which I have not totally gotten to yet. So Canada, I got to 400. And the U.S., I think I'm in the 400 and late 20s and 30s now. It's nuts. However, a lot of those later backers are people who backed it twice. So some of those later orders, it'll get faster as I get to the end because we're grouping them. So I sent out an order that was in the 400s that was also a 650. So I swear, guys, it's so funny to think about. If the amount of stuff, I can't even believe I can talk and paint sometimes, but the amount of plates that we're spinning, you know, like, I got to do a thumbnail. I got to make sure my channel member credits list is up to date. It is a blessing, but holy cow. We work at a different level. You know, it is, you know, you guys should be proud of the folks that are making work for you, because they are, again, they should be committed, but they are absolutely committed to giving you guys everything they've got to give. And, you know, what was so funny is when I was cleaning up my studio space, I still haven't opened them. Apologies. Yeah, business is booming indeed, Timmy Mello. But this is the crazy thing. The Ghost of the Badlands is shipping. Yeah. I think it was Crenshaw FAO said that he got a notification of his shipping and of Nosfero shipping on the same day. There's my man, my brother from another mother. From New England. Love from Rhode Island and Massachusetts, brother. Happy Sunday. Indeed, you are crushing it, brother. I love seeing your channel going nuts. It makes me happy, man. But right on. Yeah, Jeremy is... When we talk about the people that I met in CG when I was... you know, just starting to YouTube and things like that, and had me on their show. Jeremy was one of those guys, and it's like, you know, when something cool happens or something's up, and Jeremy can tell you this, I'll send him a text. I'll be like, hey, dude, what's up? Just wanted to let you know, blah, blah, blah. I just put your book in the mail. I mean, this has got to be unique to this time period, you know? Bancroft, have you pitched Rob on a show called Ruing Around with Rob? Dear God, we need Rob alive. Art of Roy, I got my books from Sean probably almost a month ago now. Yeah, that's my speed. True Cranberry, gosh, I read that backwards. I am thankful. The brain starts to fade. I am thankful for it. Now we can start talking music, electronics, and movies. I'm in. There you go, guys. That's what it's about. Shelby even thinks Jim's work is worth that. Okay, fair enough. Gosh, I'm falling behind. I haven't received Ghost of Badlands shipping notification yet, but I ordered the color and black and white, so maybe they're going to be shipping later. Yeah, guys, be careful with those kangaroos. Much love, Jeremy. Yeah, be careful with those kangaroos out there. Those things are mean, but I will say this: one of the meaner animal encounters I've seen is a zookeeper handling a wombat. I believe it was, or was it a Tasmanian? No, I think it was a wombat or a Tasmanian devil. I think it was maybe a wombat. Bit the living heck out of his arm when he was holding it under the neck. And I thought, whoa! Like, those things are mean, man. It took a piece out of that kid. Holy cow. Yeah, you don't want to mess with them. They get irritated. They get very irritated if they are handled when they're busy, you know, having the eucalyptus leaves, I guess. The koalas. Ooh, yeah, scary stuff. But I understand Tasmanian devils are serious creatures and you do not want to agitate them. They will bite you. They will bite you. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it is crazy to be able to see you guys. 82 people in here. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like if you are watching us on YouTube. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, feel free to go over and hit that like. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring the bell. It is the only thing that YouTube seems to be measuring. And it is how we get this work out there to a bigger audience. I mean, you know, every little bit that you guys do helps so much. Helps so much. Because we are one-man operations in many cases. And we need all of the support that we can get. And you guys are our best ambassadors. So I thank you guys for being here on this Sunday. And thank you again for all of your support on Nosfero, the Crypt Walker. I'm working on organizing stuff for Spring Ball. Working on the Second Chance campaign, which is the next campaign for me. So if you missed Nosfero, Mark's Music Obsession, this is for you, baby. I am getting ready that Second Chance campaign on Nosfero with the art-only edition of the book. Will be available with that. So if you've wanted just the art in the book so you can just flip through it, that will be something you can get, and that will be a first printing of that. So I always want to make sure there's a first printing of something new on all of my campaigns, and I want to bring something a little bit different to it. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Plan to be launching that soon. And then Spring Ball is just something I'm working on every chance I get. When I can't paint traditional, I need to find a time to take a break, but when I can't paint traditional, that's what I do. On open check price tag, ouch. Yeah, oh yeah, it was a rough to watch. I'm eating kangaroo. I tried eating kangaroo when I was in Australia. You know, I was like, that's interesting. They sold the meat at the grocery store. Holy cow. Simply Green says, like the clip where they gave a koala to a reporter while telling her it was a vicious, venomous creature. Yeah. Blasphemy. No creature is meaner than my little bird. Yeah. Oh yeah. And birds have parrots have problem solving skills. Yep. Drop bears. They'll get you. It was a koala. They have crazy pointed teeth. Yeah, they are vicious. Yeah, they do that. You guys are cracking me up. Have we learned nothing from Taz? I don't know. Vicious. Boy, I'm so far behind. Vicious little beasts. Yeah, they eat. Mello, I hear they eat trees, boulders, and anything moving. Very true. We know our Warner Brothers. British TV reporter pranked into thinking koala was venomous. Well, when you're in Australia, it's safe to assume. Yeah. The first of the first printing dibs. Yes, you will. Absolutely. I want the total package, brother. Mark, we will make it happen. Admiral, God bless you, man. You make every stream more fun. You make every stream more fun. You guys are a riot. Whenever I go and I'm looking at my channel members list and I see you guys in there, no matter what, members come and go, but you guys are my ride or dies, and it's an honor to have your support. It's a total honor to have your support, guys. There we go. Yeah, I mean, to be able to do this kind of work and have, you know, Bance around and have Eric Weathers and all these cats that I'm working with right now and stuff like that, it's great. You know, it's great. Like when it was one of my favorite things that happened in Comicsgate at the beginning was when I was about to launch Nosfero. And Michael, who I had just really done one stream with and met maybe a week or two before, goes, do you want me to look it over before you launch it? And I was like, what? I mean, always there to lend a hand, you know? Yeah, Emus won. They did. And that was just one of those things that made me realize I was in a space where people were like-minded. Because when I was in Comicsgate at the start of it, I was making videos and trying to help people in any way that I could, you know, and help promote stuff. But it's really great that there's reciprocity here, you know, for hard work and for discipline and for, you know, gosh, I can't believe I'm 5 years into doing YouTube, which I really started because of, you know, John Malin and the Malin method. So yeah, it's never lost on me. Oh man, this is gonna be nice, man. I'm excited. If you have not backed the Battle Brick Road 2 print book, back it because Random heading out. Ciao, Random. Take care. Says awesome one, and I say have a wonderful Sunday, brother. Gotta go. Be productive. God bless you. Peace and love. Hail CG. Hail you, Random McGranderson. It's great to see you. And thank you for being here. But yeah, if you have not backed the print book campaign or part of the campaign on Battle Brick Road, that is the way you are going to get an 11x17 beautiful print of this, as well as work by the great Eric Weathers and so many others. Dan Lawless, my brother, Grosse Point Dank, and fellow Comicsgate King, and somebody that I lived 2 blocks away from in my childhood, which I still cannot believe. If I start looking at the unbelievable coincidences, they don't feel like coincidences. So my first professional job, a comic book called Threshers, I did when I was 17, was I think one of the first things, although he could correct me on this, that Andy Smith did, and he did the cover for my first professional work. When I was working on Starship Troopers, I had an inker named Jimmy Reyes, so I've worked with Jimmy. That was when my kids were young. I can't even imagine. I then worked on Flash Gordon with Len, did a Len Wein story by the same guy who was my editor on Starship Troopers. Dan Lawless and I lived a couple blocks away for the short time I lived in Michigan. Think about that for a minute. Like I could just go on and on with the random things, like how, like, this is a big world, this is a big country. How the heck was it that Dan Lawless and I were living in the same neighborhood in Michigan? You know, at the same time. I was only there for a couple of years. You know, and it just weirdness. So many things that are just connected. It's craziness. And that's when you just kind of got to listen to it and go with it. You know, you got to listen to it and go with it. And so, yeah, I've had some wild coincidences of just things lining up and how things come together. You can't make this stuff up, folks. It's not possible. Tell you what, I'm loving getting to work on Eric's characters. And Zeb, I should say. Zeb as well. Those guys are an awesome team. And I really look forward to getting to talk painting with Eric every week. It's fun. Painting, illustration, comics. We just have a fun time. There we go. There we are. Oh, I'm not painting on frame. What the heck am I doing? There we go. All of the plates are spinning. But that's how we like it, right, guys? We like a lot going on. I love art so much. And I mean Art T-Bear, by the way. Shout out to Art. But no, I love making artwork, and I've loved art my entire life in terms of just, you know, just as a discipline, you know, just as a focus. It challenges me in so many different ways, and I like sharing it with people, sharing the process. And I didn't know, you know, when I was in Tennessee and stuff like that, I couldn't even imagine being able to share the process with people. There's probably a generation of artists who are going to grow up seeing things that you could have never seen. I mean, you guys, when you tune into this stream, this camera is less than a foot off of the board. So you guys have the best seat in the house every stream. That's why you know, I use Ecamm, because Ecamm will always save the streams and upload them regardless of what, you know, technical things we have. You have to be here to participate in the streams, but when you watch them later, they're always going to be in 1080p resolution, and so you can really see the process, because that's just the way that Ecamm does it. It records it, saves it, and then it uploads it from its server, so that if there are little hiccups in it, it doesn't affect the resolution on the stream when it finally uploads. And so you guys get to see, let me let it focus. You guys see what I mean? It's not 4K, and streaming in 4K, I don't know what that would require. But look at that. Look at the level you can see in terms of the brush strokes. in terms of the paint drying, in terms of all of the minutia and detail that we're able to get, because we can't let people forget for one moment that the biggest uniting factor that is in Comicsgate is a sense of the customer is always right in matters of taste, the most important full quote, and even more so, quality is appreciated here. Excellence is appreciated here. And people who love to see the process of comics being made, and people who like the old ways of working, are able to see that stuff come together and happen here in this space. So that's the thing that I enjoy about being in here. That shall go unspoken, Cranberry Landers. Oh gosh. And yes, Dragon Rage by Jimmy Reyes right there. There is the link on Indiegogo. It's doing incredibly well. Let me see here. Do your wives confuse you to White Shanth and at Michael Bancroft? Yeah, they always do. They always do. I'm sure they confuse us. Yeah. Eric Huffles celebrating 5 months of membership after the stream. Check your Twitter DMs. I absolutely will. And because we are celebrating that, please allow me to send you this encouragement. Charge! Thank you so much. And she is wearing the Liberty logo that I designed, and I am wearing my favorite t-shirt, which is made with Liberty in the USA. The link to my TeePublic store. These are great shirts. This has been through the wash a bunch of times. If you like that, if you like the Give Nihilism No Quarter logo, if you like the Nosfero logo, you want that stuff on a shirt, the link is in the description to my TeePublic store. They're great. My favorite t-shirts are these designs. So yeah, I will absolutely check my DMs, Eric Huffles, 100%. Thank you for that. And thank you for being a member. I appreciate it. Yeah, drop those cheerleaders in the chat too. Always a blast. Yeah, it was fun coming up with those emojis. One thing I want to do, but I don't want to bother him because he deserves a little bit of a break. But if John ever needs help with setting up memberships for his channel, I'm there to make custom emojis and anything he needs. I am there 100%. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the custom emojis and things like that. It really is fun. Her stomach makes me think of the show about a father that had his daughter turn into a chicken nugget. Well, right on, I say. I love it. Jimmy Reyes had tested another streamer like StreamYard that did 4K. It was sharp, but monthly was not worth it, I guess. Yeah, oh yeah, that stuff gets expensive. Yeah. How are the blanks, though? Well, that's fascinating. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to be terrified, mortified, petrified. And thank you for the cheerleader emojis in the chat, Admiral. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that for me makes this stuff fun, the little videos and things like that for super chats. I mean, none of us, like, it's great. We kind of have to learn and figure these things out as we go. I remember when the idea of, I should have my channel members in the credits. I got that from Echo Base Network. You know, like that's where I was watching Echo Base Network, and I was a channel member over there. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is such a great idea. If I ever get to the point where I'm monetized and I can have channel members, I've got to do that. The Nugget Touch, says Timmy Mello. Cracking me up, dude. Oh yes, the t-shirt blanks. Gotcha. Yeah, just the blank t-shirts. Oh yeah, that show, it looked great, awesome one. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where we're able to broadcast like that. It's really cool. And even the broadcast, think about this, live broadcasts from a comic convention, all this stuff would have been completely unheard of back in the day, and now we're able to do it all. It's too cool. And it's only going to get better. There we go. I mean, I certainly didn't think that YouTube and this technology would be a great venue for putting out traditional work, but people seem to really like watching traditional artists work, which is, again, strange, because I started my career, or my ambitions were to do pen and ink comic stuff and then color and digital, and I never thought I would be painting, or I was just hopeless with color theory and painting when I was 18, 19, and even into my 20s a little bit. So it is really funny to have gone down this road at a time when people enjoy watching it. And it was you guys who and people like Mike who explained to me that apparently talking while you are painting is a difficult thing to do. I remember I was thinking about that, and I go, if I think about it, it feels like it's impossible. But I've always, maybe it's from teaching, you know, maybe that's a teaching thing, or maybe I was a teacher because I could do that. I don't know, but I always had to explain what I was doing when I was doing demos, so maybe that was a part of it. Or it's because there's nothing but trains in my head, as I explained to my wife. Like, I don't have that introspection voice that where people sit around and go, you know, the Seinfeld voice? I bet she's thinking this. I don't have that. I just have pictures and a reference. I remember I was told Mike that, and Mike was he had the same reaction Lauren had. It was just incredulous. I actually say what I mean. It's very literal. And I don't... yeah, it took me a while to figure that out, that people aren't like that. That most people aren't. I actually thought the Seinfeld voice was this made-up thing. And you know it's the case because Kramer doesn't seem to have one. So, yeah. McGregorable J, what's up? It is great to see you. Oh, you got your Nosfero! Oh, awesome, man. I'm so glad to hear that. Terrific. And I love that icon. That's the Alex Ross, right? George Reeve and Adam West painting. I love that, man. Have you seen the New Testament comic by Chimera? It's entirely hand-painted by Preston Acevedo. That is awesome. No, I have not. Very cool. One of the two forms of entertainment that are dying and others are coming to the fore. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Members credits is a classy touch. I will be hanging and moving on up the list. Yes, you will be. Yep, that's how it works. You guys know. Lauren disagrees, apparently. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Let's see here. Somehow I've been gifted a Culture Casino membership for at least 2 years. That's awesome. Yeah, Culture claims I'm one of his first subs. Yeah, Culture's a classy dude, man. I know I've talked about that before, but hats off to him for doing, donating his hair for cancer patients. That's much respect, man. Much respect. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, talking and painting is just, it makes this channel possible. Because I don't know what I would talk about. I mean, other than, I love horror movies and things like that, but I don't know what I would do on stream if I wasn't painting at the same time. Let's see here. Favorite Shanth advice: listen to people that are smarter than you. Yes, indeed. Absolutely true. Thank you. I'm glad that advice helps. Kramer used a different kind of voice with yes, that's a different voice. We suspect Clark is the same way. He speaks very stream of conscious, and when we ask him what he's thinking about, he just looks at us like we're weird. That's the sign. That is the sign. You know what a trip it was. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a tangent, but I have to say this because it is so strange to me. When I learned about that, and this is in the last year or two, right? That I would say, "Hi, how are you doing?" and somebody would hear in their own head, their own voice saying something like a Seinfeld episode, like, "Well, what does he mean by that?" Which is, I meant, "Hi, how are you doing? It's great to see you." And they were thinking, what's that supposed to mean? For a while, I got really paranoid. For a while, I go, all these people are thinking horrendous stuff when I'm just trying to say exactly what I'm saying. And then I started finding more people who were like that and had a similar attitude. But I can't help but think how all I see in my, like, I remember almost every, when people tell me things, I have a tendency to be, one, listening to them, and two, remember it. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. So I'm going to paint, and I'm probably going to get the quote wrong because I remember it like a kid because it's from way, way back. So I'm going to try to paint while I recite Return of the Jedi a little bit, or just the first part of it, right? So let me see if I can do it without stopping. Alrighty. So command station, this is ST-321. We're starting our approach. Deactivate the security shield. You may deactivate the security shield when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Stand by. You're clear to proceed. We're starting our approach. I think I got that wrong a little bit. Inform the commander that Lord Vader's shuttle has arrived, sir. Lord Vader, this is an unexpected pleasure. We're honored by your presence. You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander. I'm here to put you back on schedule. I assure you my men are working as fast as they can. Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them. The station will be operational as planned. The Emperor does not share your optimistic appraisal of the situation, but he asked the impossible. I need more men. Perhaps you can tell him that when he arrives. The Emperor is coming here? That is correct, Commander. And he's most displeased with your apparent lack of progress. We shall double our efforts. I hope so, Commander, for your sake. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. Do you guys see what I was doing there? Does that make sense? Yeah, that's kind of how my brain works. I'm not thinking about other things when I'm doing a thing. So, I have... It's largely pictures. I can listen to things back in my head. I can remember things that way, but I'm actually present. So when I'm talking to somebody, I'm listening to them. And when I'm talking, that's what I mean, if that makes sense. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Grey Wolf? It's great to see you. We shall double our efforts. You got it. Yes. Nerd, says Stephen Rockwood. You're right at times, though, Shant. Some people are deceiving. That's true, yeah. I always am thinking nice things, and then people are like, what's he mean by that? And I go, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Shant caught in a loop. Someone banging his side twice. Yeah. Yeah, you guys remember that. Yeah. Shant, quote, incoming. Yeah. This is madness. I'll be looking in the distance. My wife will go, what are you thinking about? And sometimes I'm watching a movie or something in my head, but other times I'll be like, the couch. Hail, Marcus. It's great to see you, brother. How are you doing? I hope you are well, man. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. Yeah. I don't know how else to put this, but I have a 4-disc Blu-ray set called HD Trains. We'll leave it at that. That I watch. Like, I was watching back a fight from when Eric Morales was 35 years old, and he's my age, so it was at least 12 years ago. And he was fighting Marcos Maidana, and I was remembering the sounds of the punches and what combinations for some of it were coming next. Like, I was like playing it in my head as I was watching it. It's freaking bizarre. But yeah, that's why when it comes to things like boxing, I'm much less of a go to the arena thing guy and more a watch YouTube videos and breakdowns. I'm a stats guy. You know, I like that kind of thing. So yeah. That is what Shanth is going to repeatedly recite to himself when he's in the asylum. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What's up, Bordeaux? How are you doing, my friend? It is great to see you. I hope you are well. And hey, Marcus. Yeah, look, everybody's saying hello, hello. And Marcus is in the house. It's great to see you, Marcus. What are you thinking about, honey? The Roman Empire. That's right. Yeah. It's so... Mike, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's terrifying and weird. And I'm sure it's going to be even weirder if you find out Clark is like this. But the reason why this makes sense to me is because this is how I think. You know, like, this is how I experience the world much more like this. So I kind of, I feel like none of this is going to make any sense. But, I don't know. Like, this is the language I speak, if that makes sense. And this is what I understand. So, when I'm looking at something like CYBERFROG, or I'm looking at what, you know, Mike's doing with the LUCENT, or I'm looking at what Eric's doing, I see a series of sort of interlocking pieces that I'm making sense of, and I don't know. I've always sort of been that way, and I didn't know there was another way to be as an artist. But for me, it's like, yeah, it's this thing of like how I put things together and how I make sense of things, and I kind of understand people through their interests and through their art. And through the stuff they love. Like, somebody can love dance or music, and I don't need to do what somebody is doing in order to appreciate its value, because other people's interests are how I get to know them, if that makes sense. And so I assumed for a very long time that, you know, everybody was having a similar sort of process, and I think that's amazing. I like that there are different ways. I'm married to somebody who thinks with an introspection voice, but that's why what people do is something I pay a lot more attention to, and I don't worry as much about what people are thinking, because I can't control that. You know, that's one of those wild things. Yeah, yep. Experiencing the world as a kaleidoscope of memetics. 100%. That's what it is. Cow. That's right. Exactly. Oh, that's great, Marcus. Let me see what Marcus said here. Thoughts on Prince Nassim? I love Prince Nassim. One of my favorite fights of all time is Prince Nassim versus Kevin Kelly in Madison Square Garden. What an entertainer. Incredible footwork. My favorite fights of his are his early fights, either right after he turned pro. So his fight against Sean Norman was incredible. I'm glad they stopped that fight. And then Ricky Beard, which I think was his first pro fight. He was an older fighter. He was taller, and he stopped him with a left to the body. And Ricky, I remember the commentator going, "Ricky, he'll match him for gamesmanship," because he was doing really well. But he stopped Ricky Beard with a ferocious body shot, and his leg work was incredible. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Nassim Hamed, and I love stats. I love these things, yeah. What's up, Ferris Comics? How are you doing? It is great to see you. Hello, all. Hello to you on this fine Sunday. Yeah. So hold me closer, tiny dancer. 100%. I'm so hungry. The spring rolls a calling. I hear you, and I'm getting hungry myself, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. We've got 85 people in the chat. This is absolute madness, and it's great. So let me show you some of the stuff that I've got here. That I've been working on, in addition to the massive pile of stuff that I'm sending out. I, of course, have got, and this is, you can get book 1 and book 2 on the site. Battle Brick Road is what I'm using for reference as I'm working on this piece by the great Eric Weathers. If you are not a fan of Eric Weathers, become one. He's doing some of the most amazing stuff he's ever done. His work just keeps going crazier and crazier. I'm also working on Nosfero 2. So I'm working on my layout pages, my sketches, and my story work for that. I recently got book 1 and 2 of Art T. Bear's Black and White. I've been having a great time looking at that stuff as well. It's been fantastic. Let me see here. What else have I got over here? Oh yeah, I've been doing some sketches for this other idea I have. And I'm working on toned paper for this right now. So I'm using Crayola twistables and pencils just to break the story down, just to get an idea of what this thing could potentially look like in the future. I'm also experimenting with, again, with doing some, like, just as I write, I'm thinking about trying to do more block hand lettering. And so this is an example of all of the different sort of, tests and things I do just to keep myself sharp when I'm working, in addition to, mailing out packages and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, I cannot wait to get those of you guys that are still waiting for it, to get your copy of Nosfero, the Crypt Walker, in the mail to you. We'll be launching a second chance campaign. There will be, I just paid Eric in full for his letters. I cannot wait for the Lucent 2, man. It's going to be awesome. Hail, Ray Haylock. It is great to see Tug's web guy. Shout out to Tug. Yes, indeed. Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. Yeah, so we are making cool stuff here. Timmy Mello says, people today in school, unfortunately, are punished for having such a vivid imagination and perspective. I sure did when I was a kid, and still am working to tap back into that vividness as an adult. Just remember this. That thing about you that is creative is inalienable, and it's less about trying to excavate it than it is about letting gravity do its job and letting it happen, because it's just a part of who you are, Timmy. So yeah, 100% confidence. It's a dystopia come to life, and it disgusts me with what it's done to kids today, Eric Cuffles. Their imagination is synonymous with reality. There is no deviation. Yeah, it's true, and you've got to have that ability to play. And that ability to play, but also bringing that skill to it, is so essential. And Moss, I saw your name on my list. You're coming up very soon. If not, yeah, I don't know if I think I'm about to get to that book. But so here you guys go. This is what it's about. This is what we're doing here. Tell everybody. It's about imagination, craft, skill, having a laugh, and liberty, and work ethic. And so that's the stuff that I have a blast doing. So we're going to have more stuff, more streams. If you have not rung the bell, it is apparently the only thing that YouTube measures as a metric for sharing a stream out and how engaged your audience is. They measure you guys based on if you've rung the bell for notifications, and even if it's some or all, which is really a bizarre thing. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here on this fine Sunday. I think we are at 2 hours, so I'm going to wrap up because I just realized I need to get something to eat. So Eric Cuffles, get your spring rolls. All of you guys have a wonderful Sunday. I want to again say how just how proud I am of John Malin and how he's conducted himself. And I'm wishing his sister a speedy recovery and all the good health in the world. And much love to his family. And thank you, Comicsgate, for being here. Thank you, all of you guys who are here at Shanth Enjeti Art. And as I like to always say, I'm starting to say now for sure, from the heart of Lovecraft Country, in the birthplace of American religious liberty, my name is Shanth Enjeti. This is Shanth Enjeti Art. As always, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you, because Shanth means peace. Take care, guys. I will see you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, and take care. And channel members, here's your name in the credits. I will update it for the next stream for all of my new channel members. Take care, guys.